Silent J here, and I'm back again with another Balisong review. Today I'm actually going to be reviewing the BladeRunner's Alpha Beast. This is BladeRunner's first Balisong, and it's designed by Lucifer and Knifesoid, and it was put together by Matt Cook. Today I'm actually have this Balisong from a pass-around by BladeRunner's. So for those of you actually waiting, no, this isn't mine yet. I wish. Anyway, for more information on Alpha Beasts and BladeRunner's, I'm going to have some more information with like links and stuff in the description box. And without dragging this on any further, let's jump straight into the review. Things that I actually really like about this Balisong would, surprisingly enough, we're going to start with the latch. As much as I hate T-latches, this one was designed very well. I don't know if you noticed, but that point allows it to bounce into the other handle and not stall up. It just kind of ricochets off a bit and doesn't cause issues. So it's a T-latch that I've never found to get in the way, and even when flipping, you don't get that 90-degree angle issue that'll stall up in your hand, but that's mostly because of the handles. And that's another thing that I love about these Balisong is the handles have amazing dimensions. They're very long, and they're not overly long, but have a good length to them. They have a nice width, like a good thickness going on, so that it stays in place when you need it to. But they're also round chamfered enough so that if you need to spin it for any sort of fanning or anything like that, you can do that easily without any issues. It just, with the handles, they do feel really good when flipping, and the balance for these handles is great. Having, you know, the titanium slabs with the titanium spacer in there, that big block spacer, works very well for keeping it balanced. The bushings, the pivots use bushings and phosphorus bronze washers, which again is amazing. I love bushings, and the PB washers are really good for keeping things smooth. And as you can see, there really isn't a whole lot of play there. I haven't adjusted these pivots, but that's how it came. It's a good amount of play to me. It could be less, but I'm not going to tighten these down personally. So, as far as the blade, I really do like the blade too. Originally, I wasn't such a big fan of this profile. It's really grown on me. I'm a little surprised. I wasn't such a big fan of it at first, but having it for a while and really getting to look at it and appreciate it, I do like it. But that's more just aesthetics. As far as this blade itself, Matt did an awesome job with these grinds, and they look really nice. But this edge is like sickeningly sharp. It is ridiculous. When it comes to how well this flips, though, this is the best thing I have ever flipped, and that's saying a lot with how much I love the Basilisk. I actually found this to top that. Oh, and going back to the blade for a second, because I jumped a little ahead of myself, the lack of horns is great. You don't have that pinching at all, just to jump back to that. But again, that helps with how well this thing flips. I haven't found anything to actually get in the way while flipping, and it handles great. It is a little on the heavier side, at about 5.5 ounces, but the handles and the blade it's designed to handle that weight and distribute it well. So you do have something that is very well balanced, has great dimensions, and even though it's kind of heavy, still flips better than anything else I've ever handled. Now normally would be the portion where I'm getting into things I dislike, but in the week and a half that I've had this, and that's a little longer than I was supposed to, but in the week or so, I was looking for things that were wrong with this. I was honestly trying to find things wrong, and I really couldn't come up with anything. The most I could think of is some little things. If you don't like how it looks, well then obviously you're not going to like how it looks. Nothing's going to change that. With the handles, Some people might prefer them to be more rounded. I think it handles great without the extra rounding, but that could be some people's preference, is a little more rounding. The only thing I personally didn't like, and it's not a problem with the knife, it's a problem that I personally have, and that would be the T6 pivots. The T6 pivots I only have a problem with because T6s personally scare me. My Torx driver for T6 is messed up. I think one of the points is broken off of it, something, I don't know, but my T6 driver tends to strip T6s very, very easily, and that makes me a little paranoid. But these T6s are fine and actually are what it needs in order for you to have this design as well as it is. In order to have the pivot go in and the bushings while taking away the horns, you do need these to be like a T6 at most. T8 is too much, you're taking away too much steel. For me, overall, out of 10, I give this thing a 10. It flips better than anything else I've ever handled. It's a really solid, great ballast song. And I couldn't even think of anything more that I'd personally ask for in this thing. It's just, it really did blow me away when I realized how much I enjoyed this. I really thought maybe on par with the Basilisk, and as much as I avoid comparisons, that is the best I had handled until this. And that surprised me very much. Anyway, as always with my reviews, we're going to have to go into some flipping footage, so hope you enjoy.